Shooting wildlife or natural landscape is a very rewarding experience. But if you're not prepared correctly,
you're gonna have a bad time.
Or worse, you can get yourself lost and need emergency rescue, which is not great and a little bit embarrassing. So everyone, my name is Martin, and today I'm gonna show you 8 tips on shooting in the wild. Now I'm recording this, I just realized some people are gonna think that I'm gonna talk about like shooting like, with a firearm, like, pew pew, instead of using like a camera, But I also just realized most of my tips are applicable to both scenarios. So I'm just gonna keep the title and roll with it. The reason that I'm making this video is because I just came back from an annual Colorado cabin winter trip with 50 of my good friends. While my friends are enjoying the cabin lifestyle, I usually go out to do outdoor photos and drone shots, and they're pretty fun. I have learned a few things by making some mistakes, but I make those mistakes so you don't have to learn it the very hard way. You're welcome. So let's get to it. Number 1, navigation. So I get questioned by my friends every single time when I bust out a GPS, a dedicated GPS device. They think it is outdated, it's a machine of the past, and I'm here to tell you that is not the case at all. When you're getting out there in the wild, oftentimes you will not have cellular signals. While the GPS unit, like the components on your phone, might still be working on your device, you won't be able to update your map without internet. So it knows where you are, but it doesn't know where exactly that is. So a GPS unit already has a preloaded map on it, so you never have to worry about not getting signal and getting lost out there. If you really don't have a GPS device, or you forgot to bring yours, or you don't want to get one, there is a trick that you can use to save you from getting lost in the wild. You can actually download maps ahead of time. So in the iOS Maps or Google Maps, you can go to settings and you can choose offline maps and download an area of the map based on your choosing. Hopefully this can help you avoid getting lost, which is the most important part, especially when it gets dark. Which brings me to number 2, weather and environment. You should plan your trip thinking about when the sun is gonna rise and where is it going to be. It's gonna be very important to know where the shot looking like and where you're driving. Are you where you're facing? If the mountain is gonna be in the way, or it's gonna be getting into the shot. So those are some of the things that you have to consider. If you're planning to shoot at night, you also need to think about moon cycle. Maybe you want lots of moonlight so you can see the environments, making sure all the trees are lit up. Or you don't want to see any of this because you're doing stars or doing long exposure. So making sure you track the lunar cycle as well. Of course, you should consider the weather as well and dress properly for it. If it's raining, you need to making sure that your equipment stays dry by having like waterproof protection, or even get like a water housing tool. They're not expensive, but even a piece of cloth covering it would be better than nothing. Or let's say if it's too cold, like this recent snow trip that I went to, you need to have a warm jacket and gloves that can protect you, but at the same time allow you to operate your equipment effectively. Basically, you need to prepare if you're expecting to have to deal with extreme weather. Here's also a bonus tip. You might also want to get an ND filter if you want to get motion blur to your shot. So, if you worry your shot is also getting overexposed, an ND filter can also help you, bring that brightness down. Number 3, tell a friend. Hopefully you have some. Not only would you tell a friend what a good time that you'll be having, you should definitely tell a friend about your planned adventure, because in case you get lost or get stuck, someone needs to know to report it and maybe, get you some help. I tell at least one friend every single time so that they know exactly where I'm going, or it's, a general idea. But also I tell them what time they should expect me to return. So if I, go past that time, then maybe they should start to worry. On top of that, I usually share my location data to a friend for 8 hours. You can do that on lots of messaging apps like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, or even iMessage. So, they kind of can track you where you are. But keep in mind that if you don't have cellular service, your GPS location will not update. But at least it will have your last known location, so they kind of maybe know where you're about. All right, number 4, pack food and water. You're most likely not gonna see a McDonald's in the middle of the mountain or in the desert, but if you do, please let me know. I would love to check it out. So pack enough food and drink for you to not get hungry or thirsty for a full day. And if you have enough time, maybe plan some food that has temperature benefits too, like a hot cocoa for a cold day or a cold water bottle in a cooler for a hot day. That will keep you more happy and focus on shooting. Number 5, have plenty of gas or electricity. It depends on what car you have. So don't just fill your stomach, also fill your car. This one is also pretty obvious. You want to fill your car up all the way, not just barely enough for your planned trip. What if you discover some amazing location that you want to explore last minute? Or if your planned route need a detour, then suddenly you need more gas. You do not want to be in a situation where you worry about your car that will stop and you're stuck in a wild with no cellular signal. And then the sun is going down and you start to panic. That's one of the worst situations you can get yourself into that can be easily avoided. Number 6, battery and memory cards. Unlike the good old film days, if you are using a digital camera, you can easily carry multiple memory cards, or even just having one big one. So for example, in my Nikon Z8, I have a Lexar Go 1TB CF Express card Type B and a Kingston 1TB SD card, 2 cards. And I transfer my files every time I'm home after a shoot. Now let's talk about batteries too. Yes, I'm going to tell you to charge them, but I also want to mention about your placement of your battery. Most of the time, people put their battery into the backpack, but your camera battery will actually drain in cold or hot temperature. And I don't mean like super extreme cold or super extreme hot. Like at ambient temperature, like somewhere that's like below -10 Celsius or 14 Fahrenheit, or above 40 Celsius or 104 Fahrenheit, you will start noticing your battery will not last as long. So the trick is to actually keep your batteries close to your body where you're out there in the wild. I usually put them in the inner pockets of my jacket, especially my snow jacket have those, or even, keep them in your pants pocket. Not only I am keeping them at body temperature, but also easy for me to access them, when I'm out there in the wild. Number 7, getting the shot. Now, this is something that I have to learn painfully throughout the years. The lesson is, just because somewhere is more dangerous or hard to get to, it absolutely doesn't mean you will be able to get a better shot. We always fantasize the idea of, treading through the river, climbing the impossible mountain peak, and then get this breathtaking shot that no one can take. But that's not always the case. Photography and like many other things are not a 1-to-1 ratio for effort and result. It's not worth it to put yourself in harm's way, hoping that you will get a good shot that you don't even know if it will be a good shot. So, not worth it. If you get hurt, you won't become a hero. You'll just become another cautionary tale to let people know, don't do something dumb. So, work smarter, not harder. For example, there's other ways too. Sometimes I can use my drone to scout the environment, or simply use my drone to take the shot that I want so I don't have to climb crazy mountain. Or, you can put your camera on a monopod so you can get a higher angle or even a lower angle to get those shots that you want. So that's it. Basically, you want to be smart, be safe, and be prepared when you're planning out to shoot in the wild. I'm sure there are other tips and tricks that I forgot to. So please leave a comment down below if there's anything that I'm missing, or if there's some cool tricks and tips you have learned along the way. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.